to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Now we're going to start with the Future Ready School Silver Status Certification.
Well, first of all, we're very grateful for a full house here tonight when we talk about this honor. So I'm just going to set the table, and then I'm going to bring the leaders up. They're really integral in making it all happen, and take the opportunity to celebrate something that really is a district-wide effort for implementation of best practice teaching and learning. Approximately 5 years ago, under President Obama, the Future Ready movement on the federal level began. And just to kind of set the stage for what it was and what it was about, we were about to embark on online standardized testing. I think everybody remembers the name of that. We're about to begin the park, right? And so in that, it was evident that there were going to be nationally billions of dollars spent on education as it relates to the devices. And so from the federal government and the Department of Education on a national level, the focus was to make sure that these devices were not just used for assessment and then put in a closet. That these monies that were about to be spent and what was about to be embarked on with these not just millions but billions of dollars were educational resources that our students should be used appropriately with our students to make sure that they were learning the skills necessary to be successful in an evolving world with new job markets and everything else. So that was the beginning. So Future Ready was a pledge to say that school superintendents, boards of education, we pledge that we are going to do everything within our power to focus our curriculum and to focus our educational resources and our financial resources to make sure that we were not only going to use this for assessment, but that we were going to embark on best practice teaching and learning. Future Ready New Jersey is really nationally in the forefront because they've gone one step further over the last 2 years. They've said that we want evidence of best practice teaching and learning, and we're going to embark on a certification process that shows that we are using these digital tools, hardware, software, planning of budgets, making sure that the devices we have the support not only on the front side with software, but on the back side to make sure they have the capabilities to be used in the classrooms. To go one step further, the focus was on best practice teaching and learning, to empower students, to gain evidence of student-directed learning, empowering students to be lifelong learners. So that's really the work that we are excited about. That's the work that we're passionate about here in Middletown. We've got great support from, first and foremost, our teacher leaders. If the ed techs in the room could please stand up. Ed techs, please stand up. So these are teacher leaders. These are coaches working every day with the colleagues. If the principals in the room could stand up because they're the instructional leaders. Supervisors, directors, district directors, stand up. Please, because these are the instructional leaders that have worked to implement these goals. And I just want to say that this starts with our strategic planning, our district goals, and then from our district goals, our building level goals. This goes all the way down to our SGOs, because really the focus is on student success. And then the last group I'm going to ask to stand up, some are already standing, is our Board of Education, because we really are in the forefront in the state of New Jersey. We're in the forefront nationally, and it wouldn't happen without the support of these people right here. So, without any further ado, I am going to turn it over to two outstanding instructional leaders, Stephanie Hessline and Wendy Morales. And I want to say they are not only outstanding leaders in our district. Stephanie is a teacher leader and in ed tech, and Wendy is a supervisor, not only in our district but on a statewide. They are actually on the state committee that is evaluating all of this best practice and is working collaboratively with other districts. And I want to say the best thing about this for us is we have participated in conversations, in workshops, in meetings, at higher education. This is a movement that is supported by the Department of Education, by higher ed, you know, and of course the Future Ready folks. So we have had the opportunity to come together with colleagues from across the state and really get into deep conversations about what best practice looks like, about what we want our students to know, to understand, and be able to do. And it's really been a tremendous embedded professional development opportunity for us. So without any further ado, Wendy and Stephanie, take it. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Wendy Morales. I'm the supervisor of digital media arts and technology for the district. I'm also the task force chair of the leadership task force for Future Ready Schools New Jersey. And before I introduce Stephanie, I would just like to say that we did not plan our outfits tonight, so it's a little embarrassing. We showed up. Go ahead, Stephanie.
I'm Stephanie Hessline. I'm ed tech at the elementary level. I'm also the task force chair for the education and customer practice side of Future Ready.
And basically just what that means is we're the ones that kind of helped to develop the process for certification, create the indicators, and also we evaluated schools across the state to determine what level of certification, if any, they did get. Of course, you think that would help us being Middletown, but it was just as hard for us, and we were not allowed to evaluate ourselves. So we were obviously, it was still a very rigorous process.
Okay, so as Dr. George stated earlier, this all began with the national framework, which I just wanted to point out the center is personalized student learning, which has kind of driven us these past few years with all of our goals and initiatives across the district. So this is what first attracted us, and then obviously when Future Ready New Jersey came along, it only made sense because it, again, gave us the blueprint for exactly what we needed to do.
So as we kind of went into this Future Ready New Jersey process of certification, it really pushed us to kind of focus and narrow down on these three questions. It kind of made us self-reflect on where are we right now at the start of the process. Where do we want to be? What are the goals? Where do we want our students to be? Where do we want our teachers to be? What kind of learning do we want to be happening? And then how are we going to get there? And that's really where the Future Ready New Jersey framework came into play. It really was, indicators were created, for educators, by educators. Many in the room, some of our ed techs were also on the task force. Excuse me. And we were really creating this because we're in the field with them. Like, we understand what students need, what the best practices are that need to be pushed forward into our schools, and that's really what it's about. And like Dr. George was mentioning before, Future Ready New Jersey, the process itself has really put us in the room with districts from across New Jersey that challenged our thinking and that pushed us forward, and we got to collaborate with and share best practices and really just push forward together as a state. And yes, the banners are wonderful, and it's a huge accomplishment to be certified at any level of Future Ready because it is a very rigorous process. But really the most important part is about the self-reflection. It forced everyone to have the conversations, and it gave us a legit framework and indicators to be able to make those conversations into change for our students.
Okay, so here are the numbers for you. So this year we had 94 districts commit to this process. We had 265 schools that participated. We had over 190 submissions. That was hours and hours of reviewing with our teams. And those schools represented, at the end of the day, about 54 districts. Of those districts, 38 were bronze certified. That was 104 schools, representing 38 districts. And 6 districts, one of which is us, were silver certified. 35 schools, we are 17 of those 35. And just so you have an idea of kind of the progression of this. We started last year at bronze level. We earned bronze last year. This year was the first year that silver was offered because this is only year 2 of the program, so we just earned silver, and of course you can see where we're headed for next year.
And just to give you some context of what the process was like, so from our bronze certification of last year, we had to kind of create an action plan of what our goals were to move from bronze to silver because we needed to, provide more evidence to the indicators to be able to achieve silver. So first we made an action plan, we implemented those indicators into our classrooms with our teachers and our students, and then we had to collect evidence with ed techs, with the principals, with teachers to show that we were doing these things, show best practices, and then we submitted for certification. And these are the 3 gears, or 3 themes with the gears that we had to show evidence of: leadership, education, classroom practice, and technology.
And this is just examples of some of the evidence we actually did submit. We had to submit a Google Sheet with links to tons of student work examples, to examples of some of the things linked to our website, just basically showing our entire infrastructure, again, best practice, collaboration between our teachers, professional development. So we had to submit that and earn a certain number of points. We also had to submit a narrative explaining why we felt each school was future ready. And then we had to, each of our ed techs created a video for their schools. So there are 17 videos that are currently on YouTube that you can check out on our district YouTube site. And if you just play the first minute or so of this, this is Fairview, so Mr. Melando's the star.
Great, Mike. Wow.
Mike, talk. Go, Mike. Hear it.
Yeah, go back to this one. All right, so it is on YouTube, and I know time is of the essence, so we're going to move on. And again, this all resulted in all 17 of our schools, so we just want to once again give a big round of applause to our teacher leaders, our ed techs,
I'm over here. All right, so Mrs. Caruso is going to come up. We're gonna hand out our certificates at this time. Celebrate. Board members, file. Good.
Okay, we commend the following staff members for their professional efforts and leadership in achieving future-ready schools New Jersey certification for each of our 17 schools in Middletown School District. Middletown Township Public Schools once again exceeded the established requirements for certification in all 3 themes, earning us the prestigious silver level certification. While all levels of future-ready schools New Jersey certification follow an evidence-based process, the expectations established for silver level are especially rigorous. Middletown Schools represents 17 of only 35 schools in the state who earn silver level. Silver level. The highest level a school can achieve at this time. As a result, Middletown Township Public Schools has the largest number of silver level certified schools in the second cohort of committed future-ready schools New Jersey districts. This achievement was the result of the collaborative effort made possible by the innovation, passion, and leadership of our students, technology staff, educators, and administrators. Each teacher leader successfully partnered with their building principals and teaching colleagues to gather evidence of future-ready learning for our 17 schools during the certification phase this past June. At this time, we would like to recognize and congratulate the following educators for their professional efforts on this exemplary achievement on behalf of the district. Wendy Morales, project leader. Dan Wilson, project lead. Megan Sophia, project lead. Marla Field, educational technology specialist. Kevin Hunt, racial literacy.
doing a steam picture. I think we do it from over there. That's the place. Tom and the tallest people in the back. And we'll try to do 3 rows. Get in when we get in. Or get in with it. Chris, you got us, right? Chris, you lead it. Move around. All right, let's see. All right, everybody over here, you got to get in over there. I'll tell you, for all of us, what's really missing is the kids. And the educators that came to here, some of our teachers have back to school night, some of our administrators have back to school night. These are the instructional leaders that led it, but it's the kids that make it happen. You guys got to come from back there. Yeah,
I don't get invited to that one. I'll tell you, you're rank higher than me. Nothing fancy.
This is a big team picture. This is the new backdrop of my Twitter account. We are going to be recognized in school boards because that's the other major partner in this. NJIT School Boards, DOE. So school boards is going to be a big day for us. We are. No. We are. We're not Penn State. We're going to have a rough week against the Buckeyes.
How are you? Hi, how are you?
Here we are.
Where you go? Congratulations. Absolutely.
We've got, next thing we're going to do is recognize board members. Lead learners. If I can just have everybody's attention.
Oh, yeah. Thanks, Pam. Bye, guys. See you later.
We have 3 board members tonight being recognized as lead learners, as lifelong learners by New Jersey School Boards Association board member recognition. I had to break my notes out on this because this is pretty impressive. I want to make sure we get this right. So the first is the new board member boardmanship award. That's an award you get for accumulating at least 10 board member academy credits in your first 3 years. And Danielle Walsh, thank you for being that. I have to say, I'm proud to work for a board that models a model, right? Because it really is, we're modeling a model for students that, you know, we hope in our work as educators that we develop confident young people that aspire to be lifelong learners. And that's part of the success. And our board, we're a certified board. We're a board that's focused on reflection and improvement and works directly with the governing body of school boards to make sure that we know our fact. I think our board is taking that challenge very seriously, and I'm grateful for our board doing it. So, Danielle, congratulations. Leonora Caminiti, Master Board Member, 3rd level of certification, builds on CBM to receive the MBM. Someone know what CBM and MBM means?
I think I got my name
Certified board member. See, I just have to ask my master board members if you can tell me exactly what it means. Members must have earned certified board member to accumulate 28 additional credits for a cumulative total of 40 credits. Eligibility will not be considered until the board member has achieved certified board member award and served for 1 year at that level. Earn a total of 40 credits. I also want to point out, you must pass an exam covering board responsibilities, and you must submit a portfolio. So congratulations to Leonora Caminiti. to Leonora because she didn't want to do this and refused to bring hers in. But I think it's a photo op and it's an opportunity. And then we have the highest level attainable Certified Board Leader Award to Joan Menulis. This highest level of individual certification of board member is Certified Board Leader. To be awarded to a certified board member, you must have earned an additional 20 credits for a total of 60 credits from all the core areas and serve for a minimum of 1 year as a board county officer. Board members must meet all of the CBL requirements. Certified Board Leader, CBL requirements. I catch on, I'm a little slow. Certified Board Leader requirements, again, 60 credits, pass an exam covering areas of board responsibilities, and submit leader portfolio, serve in a leadership role for a minimum of 1 year, board president, vice president. So our Leonora also, I'm sorry, this is your second one and we're really catching up quick. You've now caught up to Joan. Not only is Joan a certified board leader, but Leonora is as well. So congratulations as a certified board leader. And most importantly, congratulations for modeling the model for students and staff. Thank you very much.
Let me get top.
Okay, now we have a presentation on violence and
Yeah,
vandalism.
man.
Mr. Rennell, right?
You know, we're not raising the
We are. Future Red. Not Penn State. Future Red. This is Penn State, Ohio State meeting, so don't go wrong. Go back.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Tom Rennell. I'm the District Anti-Bullying Coordinator. So tonight we're just going to go over a quick presentation of our harassment, intimidation, and bullying self-assessment report, and also the violence, vandalism, substance abuse, weapons, and HIPAA incidents, which is known as the Student Safety Data System. So each year, every district in New Jersey is required to report this to the DOE. So the first thing we're going to look at is our self-assessment, and this is done by each building level anti-bullying specialist. So every building has an anti-bullying specialist in it. In the middle schools, it's our SAC, high school, it's our SAC, and in the elementary schools, it's our SBSSs. And they have to sit down and they have to look at these 8 core elements that the state gives a rubric. It has 8 core elements, and inside each of these core elements are indicators. And for each indicator, they have to sit with the school safety and school climate team and determine if they received a 3, a 2, a 1, or a 0. If they receive a 2, which meets all requirements, their final score will be a 52. If they received a 3 for everyone, they will get a maximum score of 78. So here are our school's results for last school year. And this is something, like I said, it's a 36-page document that the state provides for us. It's very thorough. And we submit our self-assessment. The state then goes back and looks at all the other information from our SSDS that we supply to them, and they make sure that it's reliable and they authenticate our information. So we can't just go in and mark 3s for everything. We thought, even if we didn't deserve it, we could not go in and do that because the state does have a system of checks and balances to make sure what we're looking at and self-reporting is also accurately fit what reports into the state SSDS. So if you look here, you can see our scores range from 71 to 76 is the highest score. Remember, 52 is for a 2 on every indicator. So we've well surpassed meeting the requirements for every indicator that is available. Part of one of the marks that they look at are the trainings and the programs that we provide for the district, our students, our staff, and also other community members that have significant interactions with our students. So last school year, we, as a district, conducted 241 trainings on harassment, intimidation, and bullying, and offered 123 programs. Trainings are considered if we do a monthly substitute teacher training. Part of that training, we focus on harassment, intimidation, and bullying, what it looks like, how to prevent it, and how to report it. So these are one-day sessions. That's what constitutes a training. Programs are more than a day. It's something we bring into the school. The Red Ribbon Week is an opportunity for a program to take place. It's more than one day, it's multi-day. So district-wide, we have 241 trainings and 123 programs. Real quick, there's always a lot of confusion with what the state considers bullying and what we hear in the mainstream as bullying. In order for it to be considered bullying by the state code, it has to meet certain requirements. And I know this is probably difficult to read. I'm going to kind of summarize it for you. It has to meet all of the top three. So it has to be motivated by basically an actual or perceived characteristic. It also has to take place on school property, at a school function, or off school grounds. So basically it can occur anywhere. Harassment, intimidation, and bullying, or the Anti-Bullying Bill of Rights, is really the only infraction that a school is accountable for 24/7. It doesn't matter when it happened or where it happened. If it gets reported to us, we have to investigate. If we find it to be a HIB incident, we have to take action. It also has to substantially disrupt or interfere with the orderly operation of the school or a student's rights. So it has to meet all three of those. And then it has to meet one of the other criteria. So one of the other criteria are a reasonable person should know under the circumstances it will physically or mentally harm the victim. It has an effect of insulting or demeaning a student or a group of students, or it creates a hostile educational environment. So it has to meet all the top three and one of the bottom. So a lot of incidents that get reported to us and we do the investigation on, they don't necessarily meet what the state considers bullying, but it is a code of conduct infraction. So we do treat it as a code of conduct situation, but we don't necessarily have to, it's not an actionable hit. So there's always a little bit of confusion with that. So I just real quickly wanted to go over that. These are our numbers from the last 2 years for alleged and then confirmed hits. Alleged is if it gets reported to us. The state says if somebody comes to a teacher, a staff member, a PFA member, anybody that is a board member, an administrator, and they say that so-and-so is being bullied, we have to open up an investigation. Regardless of what we think or what we know outside circumstances are, we have to conduct an investigation. So these are all the investigations that we completed over the last 2 years. Above it are the actual numbers that were confirmed. After we did the investigations, they met the top three criteria and one of the bottom, and they were actionable hits. So these are the two numbers, the 2 years numbers, 16, 17, and then last year, 17. Some things that we're doing to try to enhance the climate and culture of the building. We increased the number of SPSSs this year. So every elementary school has a full-time SPSS with the exception of 4. They share, so we have two SPSSs that are split among 2 schools. We added an additional guidance counselor to the one middle school. Our SACs are continually looking to develop programs to better educate our students, not only on the harassment, intimidation, and bullying piece, but also the epidemic of vaping that's taking place. The vaping that's taking place right now nationwide. So SACs are always continuing to learn and try to figure out another approach to try to educate our students on that. We brought CPC counselors into 2 of our middle schools now. That's something new that we introduced this year. Common Sense Media is right in line with Future Ready certification that Dr. George was just speaking about. Effective School Solutions, workshops. We have a lot of peer student programs that go in. They push into the middle schools and the elementary schools and try to educate on harassment, intimidation, bullying, making good decisions, character education programs. And we're also expanding our Lifelines suicide prevention into the 6th grade. A couple of other things that we're looking to do. Like I said, the SACs are always looking to increase the amount of presentations. They have a tremendous amount of resources available on the website. You can go to the district website and look for the SACs website. There's a huge resource, a lot of resources available there, and they also have a Twitter account. They're always tweeting out a lot of relevant information. All of our schools participate in Week of Respect and Violence Awareness Week in October, so that's coming up. Character education program and responsive classrooms, that's really focused at the elementary schools. This summer, I don't know the exact number, but I want to say 10 of the 12 elementary schools participated in responsive training, responsive classroom training. So they're currently being implemented. We also have 3 elementary schools that are piloting a character ed program called Choose to Be Nice, which was just in Leonardo and Ocean Ave. They started it, and I think River Plaza will be kicking it off next week. So that's called Choose to Be Nice. It's a nationally recognized program, again, about character education. So that's coming into our elementary schools. And again, we're looking to increase the substance abuse awareness programs and our SAC webpage. So the other part of the presentation is our SSDS, which is our Student Safety Data Systems. It used to be the EDRS. It has changed the name, but every year we're required to report any type of incident that was violence, weapons, vandalism, or substance abuse related. HIB is also included in that, but we broke that off into a separate slide. So these are our numbers from last year, in the 16-17 school year. You can see that everything went down with the exception of the substance abuse, but unfortunately, that is something that we're dealing with. We're trying to take a multifaceted approach. Parents out there, we're asking your help on it because the vaping situation that's going on right now, this is not a Middletown or a New Jersey problem. This is an entire United States problem that we're dealing with, a societal problem. Unfortunately, students feel that vaping is cleaner or not as bad. I'm not sure why I have that perception of it. And then there's also a lot of articles and publicity right now about the possibility of legalization of marijuana. So that's also kind of changed the perspective of some people on what they feel about marijuana. So these are all things that we're trying to tackle. We're asking your help when we have the presentations and we make resources available to you to please take them home and have those conversations with your kids at home because it takes a community. So we're asking your help on that piece of it. So these are just some of the things, again, we're trying to reduce. As I said, all the numbers have come down, with the exception of the substance abuse. We're looking at all of these programs, the substance use. We offer programs at the high school, middle school, district-wide. Please encourage your friends to come, your children to come, listen, get the information. Last year, a couple of the SACs and myself went down to Atlantic City. There was the police chiefs put on a marijuana symposium, and they had speakers from Colorado and California, I believe it was, speaking about the legalization of marijuana and what it has done to their states, kind of giving us a preemptive attack on how we can approach that in the school district, because it's much different than anything we've ever used before. Again, like I said, we're always collaborating with the police. I went down to the police chiefs, so it was myself, a couple of the SACs, and the Middletown police. So we're constantly working to try to develop programs, and asking you for your help as well. That's it. Any questions? Fight. It's fight and soul. District one. That gets recorded. Anything that's school related. So home game or away game, in the hallway, after school on school property, all that stuff. That's good. Very good. Yes. Anything else?
When you call it an investigation, is there a specific protocol that you follow, or is it up to discretion of the manager?
What do you mean? Is there? There's protocol that we follow. I mean, there's timelines. We actually just had NJPSA, which is Legal One. They do all the training for New Jersey. They just came in and they met with all of our anti-bullying specialists just 2 weeks ago, and we hit the exact protocol that was follow the timelines, how to do the investigation, how to speak to the witnesses, how to speak to the alleged target, how to speak to the alleged perpetrator, all that stuff. So yeah, there's definitely protocol, and as the anti-bullying coordinator, I kind of oversee all of the anti-bullying specialists. So it's my job to make sure that we're consistent with that protocol in all 17 buildings.
We also do administrative training.
Right. Yeah. Maintain management.
In office.
I'm sorry?
Does the substance abuse numbers include?
Yes. Yes. Yep. Okay.
Those correlations with the drastic accumulation forward substance.
I have the explanation. I would say that a lot of the hits, I review all the hit cases that are submitted. A lot of the hit cases are unfortunately on social media. That will be accepted no matter where it happens, where it happens, where it's not somewhere. A large number of them come to Xbox Live and have the headsets on, and Johnny said something that his friend wants to put on another friend, and then got investigated for Snapchat, something like that. I would say, I don't want to put a number on it, but I would say over half of our investigations are related to social media. It don't even happen in the building. That's what we're responsible for investigating.
But you're also responsible when you don't keep events these situations happen in recreational sports, so to speak, on football field, baseball, that's
And also a lot of these things come from, not a lot, some come from elementary and middle school populations. And those are very in those cases.
So once the report is made, whoever receives the report has, by the end of that day, has to report. So that the principal has to inform the anti-bullying specialist, which can have a level, and they have 1 day to start the investigation. They have 10 days. They have 10 days. They have 10 days, 10 school days to complete the investigation. It has to be sent up to the next time. Depending on what they get, you definitely have to do. Normally, a lot of times when you do the investigation, the guidance counselor is going to do that. That's why you want to do it. So, it's definitely not something you're supposed to do. So the Choose to Be Nice is a national program of 9 pillars. So each one has a different pillar to focus on. They push in. So the FPSS is going to push into the special ed teachers and kind of bring each of the pillars in these programs. They also have some classes. It's more not necessarily. I mean, it's focused making good choices, building self-esteem. I have some information on this. Thank you.
I also want to say that, thank you, Mr. Rennell. I agree. State manager, you know this is as long as I've been superintendent, we on every board agenda, post as every violence and bullying. Because really, at the end of the day, schools are microcosms of society. So all ills of society are certainly possible within our schools, and numbers can be manipulated. But we really look at this as an opportunity to address these societal problems, address these community problems. We have the resources in place to between social behavior support specialists, our counselors, our school psychologists, to really proactively address these issues and try to work through them. So with us, the numbers are the numbers. We don't manipulate them. They are what we are. We think it's important to get accurate numbers so we know where we are and so that we can meet our challenges in this society issue. So thank you all for your attention.
Okay, at this time, we're going to open the mic for public comment on agenda items only.
I just want to be clear, addressing something that's on the agenda. Voting things for funding as anything with it. Excellent, okay. I would, regarding the presentation last week on the funding of the budget, thank you very much. It was extremely informative. It took me to really understand everything. So, it's a comment, questions, and this is not time for questions. It's actually a request. If maybe at some point in the future, maybe at the next board meeting or in November, another October, November, if a presentation could be put together, because as I was going through the numbers, I noticed that what the state says the amount of money the state says is adequate for us to provide an efficient education system is $30 million less than what we budget. And I very much am happy that we try to keep our taxes down by keeping it below the 2% tax levy, which has caused some issues with coming in and of itself because we're trying to keep those taxes down. I would really like to understand if the state says for a district that is composed the way we are, if we should be spending about $131 million on our full budget, how come we're spending over $160 million? And I recognize, because I remember you had said the vast majority of our budget goes towards salaries and benefits. So I guess I'm just trying to understand and would really appreciate if there could be a presentation to explain that $30 million gap. And I understand that state number is, I guess, a minimum, and not at all am I saying that that's what we should be shooting for. I'm very happy with the education that we're getting. I just would like to understand if $30 million is a big difference. Yes. Well, it goes towards the funding that is going to be voted in today, and a lot of it is workshops and curriculum, and there's, which, well, it is.
I think you're casting a wide net, but it's not about a specific item. You're talking about
Okay, well then I guess the specific item that I would attach it to would be only because
Let me say this later. I'm just saying.
no, I understand, but it's like the curriculum that's going to be the recommended approval for the staff to attend conferences, workshops, seminars, that thing. So with regard to that, we have $30 million. We are in excess of $30 million, and I just would like to be able to understand that again. So I love that our teachers are getting involved in their professional development because I think there's more wide and they're more likely to. So it's not. I don't have a problem with spending the money. I just would like to understand that. So if at some point, same way with that presentation on how we, how state calculates that funding, if we could, the public understand that gap between what we budget and when the state says we should budget, that would be really appreciated.
I just want to clarify, it's not the state says we should budget. It's only a it's not explained in the presentation, it's just a calculation of budget and for supporting the physical education, so there's this general process. It's more than we're going to pass time out.
Well, then I guess I assume it does not include transportation, right? So I guess then maybe to understand how they calculate it, and if we took out all those things that they will not, because then we did give a separate money for transportation then maybe an understanding of what our, I guess, actual budget minus those things the state and not give us funding for, or give us separate funding for, so we can understand what the numbers are, how much we are over what they consider an adequate budget.
You also have to keep in mind, though, that there are many state mandates that the state does not fund, so I would assume that in that number is quite a bit of that. But
But like I said, if it was 5 million,
Time out. Public comment, you see your comments, you see all your questions. When you're
they
finished,
responded to me,
they
so
won't respond.
I
So this,
just
let's hold our responses until you finish. You be all night, and then your phone goes out.
This is the only thing I wanted to talk about, and it really is just a request, just so that parents in Middletown can understand. Again, I have no problem with us spending money, I just want to understand why we spend 30 million over what that bare bones statement is.
thank you. Anybody else? Seeing no one at the mic, I'm going to close the public portion on agenda items. Pam, would you take number 9, the proclamation?
Total proclamation.
I think we just have to talk to the mic. Everyone will talk to the mic.
Okay. Approval of proclamation, Alpha Delta Kappa. Whereas 2018 marks the 71st anniversary of Alpha Delta Kappa, the international honorary organization of women educators, and whereas the goals of this organization are to recognize outstanding educators, foster fraternal friendship among educators on a worldwide scale, promote standards of excellence for educational projects and charitable activities in the rich society, and further our social and cultural progress. And whereas women in education constitute, I knew it was on. Whereas women in education constitute a great portion of our networks, our nation's workforce, and are constantly striving to better serve their communities in various educational, civic, cultural, and charitable programs. Now therefore, the Middletown Township Board of Education proclaims October 2018 as Alpha Delta Kappa Month in Middletown, New Jersey, and congratulates the organization on its 71st anniversary.
We have a motion? Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, I need a motion to approve the minutes for executive session on 8/21, special voting meeting 8/21, executive session 8/29, and the regular voting meeting of 8/29.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Okay, the report of the president. As everybody knows, over the summer, we had a board retreat, and we came up with board goals. And we had asked board members to write action plans for those goals. In case anybody forgot what the goals are, I have copies for everybody. No, that's what we're going to do. These are the actual goals. Okay, the first one was to continue to refine the committee of the whole process. That one was actually, no, we're still going to do that one. Continue to refine the committee of the whole process. So I think as a whole, the board is going to work on that together. Number 2 and 3, Pam, you wrote you and Pam and Robin wrote the goal action plan. So do you want to read them into the minutes and then?
Okay, number 2 is continue to work with the township to expand our collaboration on shared services and joint projects. This includes continuing to meet monthly with representatives from the township committee and administrative team, increasing communications with the township and developing a mutually beneficial, positive relationship. Monitoring the status of current shared services arrangements to ensure that both parties are enjoying commensurate benefit and responsibility. Actively exploring opportunities for new shared service arrangements. And number 3 is to continue to refine the hybrid approach to the committee of the whole and committee process. Add a policy committee to read through each existing policy thoroughly,
Continue to reduce the number of presentations at board meetings by having committee chairs commit to bi-monthly meetings where said presentations can be made. Encourage all committee chairs to present a quarterly update to the board in public session. Refine the finance committee model to incorporate a dashboard-like concept with key performance indicators, updating the board quarterly on all financial matters in a simple, transparent way.
Okay, just so board members know, I handed you the wrong copy of the goals.
gonna
They were the
say.
ones we achieved from last year. So Pam read the correct for number 2 and 3. The number 1 goal was to initiate the process for the development of a new 5-year district plan, okay, strategic plan. What I need to remind the board is that I know that we're looking at agencies to, help us look at our overcrowding in our schools. But we need to keep in mind that our goal was to open the strategic plan. And the strategic plan is a vision for our district with community involvement. So we can't forget that part of the strategic plan. Some of the examples that the strategic plan covers is long-term financial planning, facilities, student success, positive district culture, and a vision for the future. So I don't want to push this goal, get it mixed up with what we're doing on enrollment. It does tie into it, but there's many other things that the strategic plan covers. So I just want to make sure that as we go along, we keep in mind that we do need to open up that strategic plan. We do need community involvement, because that's what a strategic plan is. What our community sees the future of our district going. It's not just the board vision. In fact, the board is really not involved in that process until the end. So that was goal 1. Pam read 2 and 3. Leonora, you did number 4.
Yes, I did number 4. You nearly killed me when you gave out these goals. I said, wait a minute, I didn't do those goals.
Yes, we are. Yes. They have to be done by September according to our goals on the board. No, it's not on the agenda.
Because like some of these things, I was
Well, this is time for discussion of it.
That mic is not working. We have to use this mic. That is working.
No, I think,
Okay, working.
no, this one works. No, because some of this is a hybrid approach in terms of how the subcommittees are working and the presentations at board meetings. I don't know, I think the public's gonna wanna see some of these presentations. I don't know why we reduced the amount of presentations. No, I get that, but, I think some of the questions we've had in the public in these meetings are there minutes to those meetings? How do we know what's presented, what's discussed? We give like brief updates, but some of these presentations people don't want to see. So, in addition, I don't remember talking about a policy committee. So some of these items I think are a lot bigger than just showing me now and asking me to vote on this council.
Well, we could put it off. We could put it off to October. That's not a problem. But that was our charge from our board retreat to come up with these goals and action plans by September. And there was a lengthy discussion at the board retreat of our board goals. And we gave it to board members to come up with action plans on how we want to.
Well, I'm not arguing that the goals are done. I mean, some of us could attend, some of us couldn't. But the action plan here is very specific about not providing presentations in the public meetings. I don't know. And not only that, but some of the committees we haven't really had, some of them we have, I think, curriculum, see a lot of stuff. I think this is something we need to talk about, and I think it's something we need to fully understand what that means, because more behind the closed door stuff you have, because you look at a lot of information. The question is, how do we get that information so the public can post it?
Well, I know that, guy.
Right, so from the board retreat, just to give some is this one?
Yeah.
All right, so just to give some background to that particular item, the idea was to try and strike a balance, and so I agree with you that it does bear more discussion, because it would be really ironic if we didn't discuss a action item about not discussing things that would just be ridiculous. So I think what's important is that we recognize 2 things, that what was behind that goal was the desire to come to these meetings with very full form thoughts to be able to present to the board, because the stress was that this is a meeting of the Board of Education in public, and so we should be very together when it comes to presenting out of our committees to our body, knowing that the public is going to be watching us, and therefore to have a lot of presentations, maybe that are fully formed, that beg a lot of questions, versus working things out in committee, giving buy-in to the committee members to say, okay, we're ready to bring this to the full board to discuss it, which is why it's a hybrid model, rather than just going to full committees where I think that's where everything sort of happens behind.
I understand about decision making, right? And, the 4 board members are in subcommittees, so there are other presentations that are informational. Just the other goal you have is talking about strategic planning. What are you going to do for people in the room who haven't seen? Now you're not showing a lot of presentations, and you're expecting to go into a room and come up with ideas of what the district should look like. I think they're just opposite things. I think that if you're concerned about public input, I think you have more in the open, so when you go to strategic plan, it's not like starting on square one, because you just mentioned a ton of topics. And from the last one I was in, it was informative, but it was a lot of stuff, and it could be argued that wasn't a really great way to design strategy. My opinion is I think we need to make sure there's consistency, and that we understand what this really means, and the public understands what it means. And I think that this was tried to pass. I think it's changed for some reason. I don't know. I think there's strengths and there's weaknesses. I think in terms of decision making, potentially, depending if you think it's the board's decision or purpose to formulate and not the administration formulate ideas, or if these are just information, a lot of the curriculum stuff is basic information the district's telling you that you're doing. I'm just bringing it up. There's just a lot of stuff to digest. And I'm just trying to be consistent. Because I'm looking at this, and this is a lot more detail. I wasn't at the retreat, and I didn't realize that. So that was the day I got
And I just want to say to the presentations, we're not trying to cut the public out, because
I didn't say I'm not, but
every
it says
important
here.
every important presentation is going to still be done in the public, because we want them to know what's going on in our building. We're trying to have a lot of the presentations done first in a committee, so that a lot of questions can get answered, and then brought to the whole board at a workshop, because that's what the workshop
It doesn't read like that.
with the presentation. Well, that was my understanding.
Yeah, it doesn't read like that. And on top of that,
Is that yours, Pam?
I understand it, and I think that the curriculum committee, for example, is doing a great job. I'm not on the curriculum committee, but I feel like I know everything that's going on.
I'm just reading the
You don't have to
terms
stay
here.
here till midnight.
Listen, I don't care how long, I personally don't care how long we stay here. The other thing is too, I think we need to discuss whether these subcommittees should be part of other, for example, I think Howell has non-board members in these committees as well. And I think someone asked about questions about some committees that there's going to be other, presidents, non-board members involved. So I think it's something like if we go further into this hybrid model, do we need to have certain committees that would have other people sign up for it, or a different sort of way to do it?
Our board committees are board members.
No, I know we are, but we're changing this, right, to a hybrid model, so we can do whatever we want. So if we wanted to respond.
We are in a hybrid model now.
No, I know, we were increasing the number of committees. When we first did this, it was agreed there's 4 committees to go through a key. Now we're adding more, right? So you're getting back to a committee model, right? So I'm just saying that maybe we should reconsider how these subcommittees are devised and who participates. That's all I'm saying. These are just things I'm coming up from just looking at the action plan now, right? So I just think there's a lot more conversation we can have. Whether we go redress, that's all I'm saying. There's a lot to read and figure out.
We could vote on this, and truthfully, when we ask for people to write the goals, I really was hoping that maybe you would want to write one and get involved.
Well, it has nothing to do with writing or not, this is not on the
But
voting.
it does, because it involves the board participation and involvement and their thoughts and ideas.
No, but I'm saying it's not on the agenda. So
No.
I think those-
It's a resolution for what one item.
Yep.
It's not an improper.
Just because you can do something doesn't mean you should do
I'm
something.
not saying you
You're
should.
asking us to vote on something that's not right.
I was like, that's what we voting on.
You don't have to vote on it, don't worry.
Goes to
Discussion.
right. So
That's all I'm asking.
I
As just Andrew said, it's in the agenda.
Yeah, I agree with your suggestion. So can we move to table this? We'll recirculate the full list of goals out to the full board, and then we'll come back at our next workshop meeting.
Do we post these?
We don't have a workshop meeting, but we have a workshop voting meeting in October, so make sure we discuss it then.
Joe, can you post these, like, action plans? Because it could be
On the
multiple.
plan now, on the portal, we could.
Yeah, but it's involved.
No, it's not a public document that we haven't even discussed with you. If you're saying we had no
We're just
discussion.
told everybody about the.
Write it out loud.
I know, but we haven't voted on it. This is a board vote.
I said you can come and say, okay, school.
I don't have an opinion about what. Yeah.
Is that what?
Just like the district plans, they don't go out into the public for the public to make a district plan. The administration makes the district plan. Every year, the board has a board retreat, and we make the board vote. That's something that we, the 9 of us,
No, I'm saying
live up
people
to.
take a look at it in case they have
Oh, they
questions.
will.
Typically,
Yeah.
I mean, and nothing anybody is saying is wrong. However, you all are elected members of the Board of Education. The public has a right to attend, to witness, and observe the actions of the city. The public doesn't have a right to be part of the votes of the city. So everything you vote on, the public doesn't have a right to weigh into and be part of your committee, be part of the legislative process. You, the board member, you as a whole, establish how you govern yourself amongst yourself. You don't have to have a public meeting to figure out how you're going to govern yourself. That's what the electoral, that's what that NCN is.
That's not what I was asking. I'm saying, could we post these projectors and their action plans before we actually vote? I'm not asking for the public to vote. And in terms of the committees, the subcommittees don't vote anyway. There's only 4. So they participate. As Nick was mentioning, they bring it back to the full board, and then we vote. My point was, this is a change, and I just was wondering if, when it's an agenda topic, it's actually on the agenda. If folks want to come up and they see a line item that they can't understand or whatever, they say, hey, listen, I decided this. I'm saying, I'm not saying the vote, I'm not asking you that job.
That's why I said, that's why I prefaced my comment with nothing anybody's saying is wrong.
Yeah.
But what I was saying, I was giving you the opposite position, which is how the board decides to govern itself is typically done at a retreat, and you figure out how you're going to work together, and you adopt either a bylaw to establish standing committees. I can tell you that out of the 611 school districts in the city of Jersey, probably all of them are policy committees. So that's not the average work here. And how to the board goals and objectives, that typically is done at a public meeting with public comments and it's taken into account what you hear over the course of the year. And that sounds like why one of the boards establish your leadership and township committee to share.
So they're going to do a strategic planning extension on other objectives, which is going to tell us what we're going to do. So that's what I'm trying to say. To me, it sounds, we're going to ask the public to make up, to devise the 5-year plan for us. Then we should at least let them see what we're covering. And then we'll vote on it. We get input in the public. That's all I'm asking. I mean, my point is, can we, if Mr. Lee decided or how the board votes, could we let them vote?
That's what I was saying. Yes, you can. You have to. If you don't, you're not doing anything wrong. Illegal. This is secret. You're not going to do it. If you do, it's okay. That's all.
But what you're asking us to do is put it public, but you're also asking us to have discussion because you have concerns about the goals that the people wrote. So wouldn't it make more sense to have the discussion, figure out what you don't like in the goals and if there's going to be changes and then put them out to the public? I mean, that would make more sense to me because we're saying we want a discussion. I don't disagree with that.
Yeah, I was having a discussion because the first time I saw it, it was on the agenda.
Well, we did, just so you know, we did vote on our board goals. I think it was.
No, I'm not arguing that. The
Yeah.
action plans we have.
No, we did not. We asked board members to come up with the action plans to achieve the goals that we made.
I fully appreciate it. Just, it's going to be a big change. It's not.
So table this, we'll make sure it's on the agenda for October, and make sure that the board gets a good idea of the action plans.
I do appreciate the board members.
Yeah, they took time
It's just a
to
lot of
write.
stuff.
So then you want me to do that, you want to do this. It's up to you, whatever you want.
We need one. Yeah, I just
We
want you to
do.
know, mine
We
is
do.
team building.
You're
We need it.
absolutely right.
We really do. Let's put this back on the other side. Thank you, Leslie. You want me to read it? I don't. You want to? Well, they're going to want to see it. Okay. I had to do team building. And I came up with 3 months that I would like to see us do this. 1 month was in November, because I think by then we know who the new board members are, or the existing board members that are staying. I like to get together with Thank God.
No, it's scary. I went to it.
Are you a sissy?
Yeah, I went to one. It was
Don't
scary.
worry, John's gonna have you back. That's the whole thing about it. And we have to go through. I'm sorry, Danielle, you don't like it?
I don't like when you call me
A sissy, oh, I okay. I like to see us get together and do another team building thing. Something bowling, something. This is all just for fun. It's not about board related stuff. It's just about socializing and getting together on a different level. And of course, the last one, we can't do anything without food. So we're gonna have a potluck dinner together. Nothing, and I just hope we could build a team. That's all I like to say. You're welcome.
Okay. Moving on, we need a motion for the Business Administrator Board Secretary, number 1 through 4.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? We need a motion for the report of the superintendent, number 1 and number 2.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I'm opposed to number 1. Okay, now we have the superintendent's update.
Football night tonight. That's ordinary.
Okay, number 12, we need a motion for number 1 through 5.
So moved.
Discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Under facilities, we need a motion for number 1. So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? On policy, we have a first reading on number 1 and a second reading on number 2. So we need to make a motion for number 2, am I correct?
Yes, I just wanted to correct the typo on 2C, so in policy 8561 is correct on policy.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Under curriculum, I need a motion for number 1 through 4.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Under finance, I need a motion for number 1 through 8.
So moved. Second.
Discussion. All in favor? Opposed? Abstentions? Do we have anything under student activities, Mrs. Walker, that needs to be brought up? Okay. Negotiations? Do we need an update on that?
We can help you in close up.
Okay, no problem. Personnel, we have an addendum on personnel. So on the addendum, that's the original. Okay, so on the original one, we're doing 1 through 5 and 7 through 15. And on the addendum, we're doing number 1, 2, 5, 6, 7, 10, and 14 through 17.
So moved.
Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? I'm abstaining on number 10. Which one, personnel? Oh, okay, number 6, we only took D out, I took the whole thing out. Okay, so the rest of number 6. We need a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Abstention? Okay, old business.
I don't know if it's old business, but I guess we had an email and it's lunch schools, high school, West, in terms of kids not being able to see some time. I think it's high school. I don't know if other schools have an issue, in middle schools, I think they're going through some of that. But if there's anything in the news on, it doesn't sound like a vendor, it sounds like a scheduling type thing.
Dr. George actually went to every school to check out the lunch times. The principals, the principals from what we were told were in every lunchroom checking out, that issue, ensuring that it wasn't going to happen. In the beginning, there were some glitches because of the new POS system that the employees were having a hard time, getting used to working it. Now this, you have to remember, this would have happened no matter what, new lunch company, old lunch company, POS was a plan to change this year. So the same employees, we kept all the employees from Aramark that working for Winston's. It's the same employee, it's just training of the POS. And I think in the beginning, one principal said that, there was a couple things. One principal said that one day when we got a letter of complaint that there was overcrowding, there happened to be a program given with our peer leaders, and our peer leaders happened to be in that particular lunch, which made it a little overcrowded for that particular day, but they were doing a program for underclassmen, so that happened there. I think Dr. George was going to say, I think you haven't been to every school when
The middle
you're
schools
following it up.
Did you get a chance to go to the middle schools also?
Not just me, but we as a team. So, plus we get an email that you're talking about. Sometimes we don't even know that we have emails.
Oh, no, I'm just saying, because we've heard about.
So we responded to that. I'm
Just,
just saying I did not actually know. The one that you're talking about, Mr. Patrick himself responded, but it was investigated by us. And it's, sometimes there's confusion as to why students are sitting in the hallways rather than there's not a seat for students.
Correct.
Those are two different, and that was it was the understanding from the person that said that wasn't a seat, it was that students were in flexible seating were choosing to sit in other areas of the building. Exactly.
Well, I think the board is a little bit different in that now all four grades are going to lunch virtually at the same time. Actually, 3 of them are going to lunch. Juniors to seniors are going to lunch at the same time. Freshmen have advisory, so freshmen are getting there half an hour later because their lunchtime is a little shorter. So the freshmen are having a hard time adjusting to getting their food, finding a seat, and there's 3 other classes ahead of them. And so I think it is some problems, and my daughter's had some issues, but my personal opinion is, I'm going to solve it sometimes, and I know that's what I said to my daughter, so, now one of them runs, the other one doesn't, she takes her own lunch.
Now you bring that up, that email could be the one from North.
Yeah,
And that we did, we did also, so there was one from North and one from South. We did also investigate that, and the principal, you and I, was going to push between you and that, and we have been.
And even though we're getting all these emails, we are directing people to follow the chain of command, but it doesn't mean that because we get that email, we're not listening. I know I always get my emails and I send them to Dr. George so that he can look into it, but we are trying to get people to follow the chain of command, and then a lot of times they get their answers a lot quicker.
Oh, yeah.
The principals are in those lunchrooms and around those buildings and know what's going on more than any of us would, until Dr. George is there. So,
I know that they eliminated Cafe B in Thompson. This is overflow cafeteria, so any update how it's going? I don't know who did.
Yeah, actually, I had a conversation 2 days ago with Ron Perry about that. He did an update on his parent information community, and that there was enough time for them to eat, and there is enough space in the hallway in the room. It's going to go. Everyone, they're keeping a close eye though, to make sure everyone is on track.
and just to say, I attended a few PTA meetings, and the principals, while they're giving a presentation to the parents, are really commenting on the healthy foods that the kids are getting, and how they're in the lunchrooms trying to get the kids to try the vegetables and the stuff that we know they are looking forward to. And
I heard some good stuff about
they have little competitions. Yeah.
Not bad, fairly
I was trying to go to the bigger schools afternoon. So I had lunch yesterday at Nut Swap, and I was there for all lunches. First of all, I learned a great deal from the students. I sat with the one class and learned about jellyfish. I learned about hammerhead breeding ground in Sandy Hook. We had some detailed conversations. I also ate the lunch. The lunch was very good. And I happened to sit next to a very nice young man, Adam, who shared his graham crackers with me. I told him I'm not sure his mom would want me to eat his graham crackers. He said no, his mom told him to share, please have some graham crackers. So I had a graham cracker, we had a good lunch, and I learned a lot. I want to reiterate, I did not steal graham crackers, I was offered graham crackers. I tried to reiterate, Mom may not want you sharing graham crackers with me. You told me Mom wants me to share, have graham crackers. That's how it went down. It's my story, I'm sticking to it.
There is one other thing, I know it's not necessarily our realm, but before care and aftercare in some of the schools, an issue, in terms of staffing, in terms of capacity. Some schools, I think they're positive, fairly definitely, before care they're on waiting list, but they don't have staff. I think there's 4 or 5 schools definitely. Sure, so before care, aftercare, obviously, the YMCA does that. There are issues in some of the schools in terms of capacity and waiting lists, and I think it has to do with personnel not being hired. In certain instances, others might be actually room, I'm not sure. Is there some way we can look into this? Because I know parents are calling, and is there a way we can figure out what's going on before they're I mean, it's getting to a point for some schools.
Personnel not being hired, is that
I just think it'd be nice if the district could maybe find out why, what problems are having with schools, and where we're having wait lists, and why. And clarify, so parents, maybe we can say, listen, there's some way you can fix that, there's something we can do, because I know I see parents on social media shuffling around, trying to find
They are. Some of the
I was in
parents-
babysitting business, I'd be doing very well.
I know. Some of the parents, though, I feel like it's desperation at that point when you're putting on social media that some of a lot of
Well, they're closed, usually as they can comment if they have plenty of capacity, they're trying to hire people, and it's like, well, we're into it's not even capacity, it's not even size issue. So we can look into that or
Yeah,
some way.
we'll absolutely. We'll give an update at business.
And then one other thing, buses. How are buses doing? They're yellow? Because I'm still having problems, like, I know Bay Shore's having some problems with the, I think we straightened that out. Linkoff, I think last year, a couple of numbers that were, I know they were rejiggered a lot of the runs, how are they doing now?
Things have been running smoothly. I'm not aware of any real persistent issues among those students. Sometimes have issues on a one-off basis with buses, but not very responding problems at this point. Last year we had some contractors not being sitting down to service the routes. So I would say that it's improving and I'm not aware of any problems.
I've heard some, I'm not sure about the Linkoff ones, but the Fairview run down Sleepy Hollow seems to take forever. I guess their buses are coming from Delmar or something like that. So there's like a run down Sleepy Hollow to Sunday City, I think that's, seems to be the main one. People go out and get to school. So I don't know if there's other ones, I know last year they had a few buses. It could have been resolved by now, but I know there was a lot. There's a couple runs over there that are rough.
First couple of days, there was some, new bus drivers didn't know the rules, weren't getting there on time, but yeah.
Can we get to the background checks? I have never seen any.
There's issues every year, the first 2 weeks of school, every single year. And fairness, I have to say, to me, from a
remind the Student Service Committee that October 3rd, 6 p.m., we're having a Student Service meeting. We had a meeting this morning with the parents of Friends of Diverse Learners. They changed their title. We had a lengthy conversation. Their minutes should be out soon. They haven't note taken out. We're going to discuss those issues in student services. We have a pretty good agenda Mr. Dunn will send out, and then we'll report on it to the board after we have our committee meeting.
I guess I should say October 9th is our next shared services meeting with the township. So if you have any agenda items, things that you're moving on, just let us know.
Yeah, curriculum we met right before the start of the school year, and Mr. Peters and I discussed that we'd probably let, a couple of weeks go by until we meet again, so that we can get a good update on what we're going to report on in a couple of weeks.
You guys had a lot of information at the time.
Yeah, so we'll probably meet at some point later.
And I just want to say under new business that Saturday I attended the color run for Rally Cap. It was the first one they had. They're just trying to get underway, so hopefully next year they'll have more people attend. But the kids that were there had a great time. And also attended Middletown Day like a lot of us did, and it was a spectacular day. Can't say enough good things about it. Seeing all the kids there volunteering and the whole community out there, it was really, really beautiful weather and a nice day. It's always good when we see our kids involved in certain things. They definitely have a lot of opportunities to be involved with them. So that's all I have. Anybody else? Okay, at this time we're going to open the public comment up on any topic. Wow. See, no one at the mic.
We gotta get you a new microphone. Good evening, members of the board. Tony Perry, go ahead and say my address. 160 Kings Highway, Middletown. Leo Christopoulos not here, is he?
No, it's not. He usually is.
Good evening. Just want to thank you for the opportunity to speak. I'm here on behalf of the Township Committee, and I know that two things that I just want to echo were just brought up, and that was shared services being a part of your action plan with your next meeting. You adopt that, and we can have that open dialogue. And I think it is beneficial for members of the Township Committee to be here during their meeting and be a part of the discussion. I hope that continues moving forward. But I am here in regards, and I hope that it comes up at the next shared services meeting, and that is the limited number of youth athletic fields that we have here in Middletown. As a board, you're all well aware of the situation that occurred earlier this summer, and the Township Committee worked diligently to find a new home for the Lake Hall Flag Football League. And after it was decided by board to close the fields to them for resting and reseeding collaboratively, the league is now housed at Bayshore Elementary. As you know, the Township Committee recently applied for a grant through Monmouth County to determine the feasibility of placing 2 new fields at Stevenson Park. Because this has become a political football and not an honest discussion about how many fields would be placed there, and intentionally misleading residents of Shady Oaks and Shadow Lake, I'm here today to request that the Board of Education allow the township to retain the fields at Bayview, which are in dire need. The baseball cages and benches are rusted and ignored, and there is no pitcher's mound on either field, nor does the actual infield exist. So our proposal would be for the township to retain and renovate the ignored fields of Bayview and repurpose them as a multi-sports fields usable for soccer, lacrosse, and flag football. This could prevent the potential need for fields at Stevenson and provide the young athletes adequate and updated fields. The school district would be provided priority for all school activities. but allows the township to permit and utilize. We can all agree that sports and youth activities benefit the children of this district and Middletown as a whole, and we hope that this would be agreeable to you and ask that you support that proposal at your next meeting. Thank you very much.
Tony, it's my
Yes.
understanding that the township does permit baby field. They permit all of our fields.
Well, our goal would be to allow us to go to the 2 baseball fields that were back last Sunday. I was there during the flag football that was taking place, which was amazing how many kids and parents are there. I think Pete Cohen told me it's upwards of 600 kids. It was amazing and really a unknown but treasured part of Middletown. But our request would be that we be able to take a look at the 2 baseball fields that were back there. I mean, the cages, the backstops are in horrible shape, and there's no mound that exists. I mean, there's a pitcher's block, but no pitcher's rubber, but there's no mound that exists. So obviously they haven't been used. And Committeeman Heibel is here with me as well, and he attended Bayview and said, "I never use these fields." I'm not going to say how old Rick Heibel is, but you know, too much time has passed by where those fields haven't been used.
You're talking about that. Well, that's why we have that rule, because that now. That's why the Middletown Little League has the amount that they drive around.
Absolutely.
But more importantly, the question was, when you mentioned that if we were to partner with those 2 fields, that where would the 2 baseball fields go? I mean, it sounds like you're moving them out for soccer, lacrosse, and football. Where are the Little League, those Little League going to go to play their games? Or have their practices, so to speak?
Absolutely. Obviously that would be a part of any discussion that we have with the school board. But I can tell you time and time again, working with Janet in our rec department, it's not baseball that is finding difficulties looking for fields. It is the multitude of sports that can use very, very similar fields like soccer, lacrosse, and flag football, which is the problem. We have 33 fields in Middletown. The township only has control of 13 of them. So that's why I'm here to try and extend that hand, extend that opportunity for us to work together, create a shared service agreement where we can utilize those fields that are at Bayview. Because when I was at the Flag Football League the other day, there was a diagonal field going through 2 fields on one side, 2 fields on the other. So they're wedged in there to try and accommodate all the students or all the athletes, young athletes that are there. And I think that this would, if you eliminate those 2 cages right there, you'd be able to put 2, potentially 3 fields right there that are already in existence. That they would just be utilized in a different manner.
You have back fields and then that around the field. So you have that third field in the corner. It's back by 60 yards, starting home. So you've got you're talking about using all that space. You're talking about just taking that field, or you're talking about putting that all through.
The two baseball fields that are there. Yes, sir.
Can I just say that, first of all, I appreciate you coming here. I take issue with 2 things you said. One, politicizing students in the field. Really can't say that we're politicizing it when you're showing up here in a board meeting you've never been to before. And certainly we could have just put this on the agenda for shared services without politicizing it to the public. Second, you accused us of ignoring the field, whether that be me, the board, the athletic department. Take issue with that. And third, when it comes to shared services, and I wasn't even going to say it until you came up, but I do take issue with that last week your fellow committeeman sat on the board and accused us of not working with him after he's tried and begged us to work with him. That is simply not the case.
Well, I'm here now, and to be honest, I haven't taken part because obviously we can only have 2 members of the township committee in shared service in any type of meeting, including. And your action plan today was to try and work with members of the township committee. Now I understand that was tabled, but I don't speak on behalf of anybody other than myself, and I'm here now.
You said you wanted to take care of the fields. You're speaking on behalf of the township.
I'm sorry, I'll go through that.
Back. Finish your comment?
Yes, sorry. Okay.
So also just to amend the record, make sure the record is clear, the Board of Education has been meeting with the township on shared services since the spring. I think there were some remarks made when I watched the YouTube video of the township committee meetings, saying that those meetings are not happening. Those meetings are happening. The Board of Education worked in collaboration with the township committee, Mr. Mercantante and Ms. Della, to find a new home for Lincroft flag football. Your comments indicated that the township committee worked to do that. I think it's your comments.
No, sir. Collaboratively, the league is now housed at Bayview Elementary for resting and receiving.
It was prior to that, you said the township committee worked to fund that. The township committee worked collaboratively with the Board of Education. The township committee and Mr. Mercantante proposed Bayview to Mr. Cullum. Subsequent to that meeting, it was publicized that the Board of Education did not come up with a plan. So if we're talking about fields, and we're talking about working collaboratively with the township committee, which is on the action plan that I sat in a board retreat to write, and it is the firm commitment of this Board of Education to work closely with the township committee, I want to make sure that we are being represented fairly, both in our meetings as well as in the press, to the public, and on social media. Because that has not happened over the past several months. I feel that many complaints from parents in the Lincroft Flag Football League telling me that my Board of Education that I sit on was throwing Lincroft off their fields and not providing any sort of a backup or any sort of a secondary plan, which was untrue. We don't know who told them that. But we worked very closely with Mr. Mercantante. Mrs. Rogers was in those meetings. Mrs. Minkiewicz was in those meetings. Mrs. Gallagher was in those meetings. We wanted nothing more than for Lincroft Flag Football to have a space to play while we redid our fields for Thompson. And I take the same issue that Mrs. Walsh takes, that we are a board that tries to fund all 17 of our buildings and our facilities. And that means that some of our facilities get maintained with a different priority. Unfortunately, right now, it's the Bayview fields where those backstops need maintenance, where there's no mound, and then there's no mound there, so it can be used as a multi-purpose field, so people aren't going to twist their ankles playing soccer on a multi-purpose field. So I just want to make sure that as we move forward, because we cannot move forward on these fields without working together, that we do that in an open and transparent fashion. I don't feel that that's been done. I don't think my fellow board members feel that that's been done, and we really do want to work with the township committee for the success of our children and for Middletown to continue to make this a great place to live.
Yeah, thank you. And I echo your comments. Again, as I stated, only two people can be in those shared service meetings at a time. Only two members of the township committee can be in there. So I don't have the ability to have my voice heard to the school board on my own opinions about the shared service agreements that occur. And as I believe we would probably have the same open public meeting rules that apply to the township committee. So this is simply just, I'm glad to hear of the action plan, and I hope that it can continue, and I hope that at the October 9th shared service meeting, we can talk about utilizing the fields that are sitting there. And I understand that, I mean, it would be a little, I'm not sure how they're being used now as alternative fields, and that's why they're not, they don't have mounds on them. But at the same time, I do hope and I do wish that we, moving forward, we can take a look at them, because the township committee is willing to take on that, so that we don't have to have the Lincroft flag football situation that we did earlier in the summer.
And you'll be there, so it'll be the mayor and yourself at the meeting of the night?
No. I'm not taking part of that. I'm not on the shared service committee. That's why I could have done this at the shared service committee, but unfortunately I have to come to these meetings, and that's why I am coming to express that viewpoint, because it can't be done according to the sunshine law. Thank you.
See no one else at the mic, I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Yeah, sorry.